Hey guys, Jerry here, and welcome back to GregTech. It's been a little while. I haven't really been much in the mood for GregTech lately, so I hope you guys have enjoyed a bit of extra blood and bones. Hopefully, I can get all my series back on track, and hopefully I can come up with something new as well to replace Factorio. But yeah, for now at least, let's enjoy some GregTech. So as you can see here, I've set the Iridium Production here on just repeat run, so any sort of UU matter that gets fabricated is automatically pumped into this, and it's automatically converted into Iridium. So this is slowly progressing and getting me ready to actually, expand my GregTech facilities. But it's a very, very slow process, and it's taking a long time before anything happens, really. As you can see in here, I have an absolute overload on saplings as well. I have an absolute overload on logs. So, like, a lot of stuff here is just kind of grinding to a halt. Like all these saplings, I can just stand here and yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna toss some of them into this chest here. That's the throwaway chest. Oops, I did not mean to put in circuits. That is not something that's meant to go in there. But yeah, basically, I haven't really consumed a lot of the biomass that I've been producing. It's all in this tank here, and as you can see, it is completely full. This is a lot of biomass, and if we make a couple of the Forestry biomass engines, we can actually produce quite a lot of power, pretty much indefinitely using this. But it's of course gonna be Buildcraft power, so we're gonna need something to actually, consume that Buildcraft power. One option is using this for a quarry. That is very much an option, but the problem is piping it to where it needs to go. For that, I could imagine something like a tesseract or something, but then again, that's in the Iridium department, and that's really expensive, and I can't quite make it just yet. So let us instead focus on something else this episode. Now, to start with, as you can see here, I have a total of 9 of these coastal sequoia saplings now. Some of them I've analyzed, some of them I haven't analyzed, but they should work together just the same. So what we need right now is a bit of fertilizer, and then we need a spot to build this. For those of you observant, you can see that I've actually built something on the map here next to the villages, but we're gonna look at that in just a moment. But I'm afraid I'm gonna have to try and turn the camera away from it for until we get this tree up and running, because I don't want to mix stuff together. So let's just walk sideways here along, and then go over to my open spot over here. I believe this is the best spot I have for building this giant tree here. How about right here? So if we take these 4 like that, and these 5 like that, and then we start bone mealing the one in the middle. Boom! Look at that. That's a giant wooden penis. And it's gonna take forever to cut down. But that's a lot of wood right here. That is a lot of wood. It would take a bit of restructuring of the forestry farms in order to actually grow these trees automatically, but it can be done. I'm fairly certain at least it can be done. I don't know if the cutting aspect of it can actually reach all the way up to the top of these, but that might be worth an experiment. In any case, the amount of logs you get out of this, you don't really need to automatically farm them, because you take out down one tree and then you're good for like forever. So I just instantly grafted off 9 saplings just so I can grow it again. And then we'll see whenever we get tired of this. Anyway, let us turn our attention to the stuff behind me, because I bet you guys are dying with anticipation. Da da da! It is my brand new Thaumcraft hut. Or house. It is not quite done yet. I ran a bit out of materials for it, and I ran into a design conundrum that I'm struggling to find a solution for. Basically, this is red granite smooth stone, and this is red granite bricks. They are not the same color, and quite frankly, this color goes well together with this color, but this color is way too bright for the rest of the building. So basically, all these little accents that I have here with the smooth stone, they stand out too much and kind of makes this entire thing look like a face. Like, I tried to make this texture here to see if, because it had the right color, but then again, the texture is not very good for what I was trying to do here. So I have a bit of an issue here I wanted to use the granite for the building, but the fact is that it doesn't mesh too well because the red one is so bright. The same goes with the smooth red granite that you can see here, which is basically double cooked. It does have the little, like, it would look nice if it was the same color as this stuff, but it isn't. So that's my issue. I decided to go with the cherry wood roof again. Again, it's a very nice looking roof. It matches the rest of the buildings here, and it goes well together with the black and the nether brick I used for the tower. And then I made these little copy holes here for the upper floor with little plant pots or plant boxes. I kind of like these this little design feature here with some trapdoors on the inside, just to make it not quite dirt. And then when you look at it from other angles, of course, you just see a little plant pot. So we have an upper floor here with room for, I'm guessing, research table or other stuff, depending on what we want to do with it. And then down here, I don't have a ladder just yet. We have even more room, big window here, small windows in the side. And again, space for something too wide here. Maybe the research table could go in here instead. And then in here we have the very unfinished tower. I've taken apart half of a nether fortress in order to get enough netherrack to do this. And yeah, then basically this was meant as, you know, basically just a tower with enough room for like all the machinery and the distillery stuff and such that you need for Thaumcraft. That's the idea at least. And then on the roof of this, which I don't have an access to just yet, if we go outside and then just fly up, whoop, I have made space, or at least tried to make space, for the infusion altar from Thaumcraft. We're gonna put that up here, so we don't get flux on the inside. I don't know if these torches here will actually fit in, or if I'll have to move them somewhere else. Like I could use them as decor on the outside or something, but I use a lot of wood in my builds, so having the fire anywhere near those is not a good choice. But anyway, up here is where we're gonna put the infusion altar. And I'm gonna need to make some ladders or some lifts or some elevators. Like we have there is the magnetizer from InventoryTweaks I could use to, but again, it seems like a silly use of power. But then again, I do have enough power, I have plenty of power. I'll just need to connect, I'll just need to basically, yeah, the nuclear reactor, I probably need to, not dismantle, but I need to take power from this cable here. And that means I need to plug the cable on the inside into an output rather than an input. I could also just put up another CSU here and have the nuclear reactor run it or something, but yeah, whatever. Not a big deal, not a big deal. So yeah, that's the Thaumcraft house building so far. Again, it's not quite done yet, so I'm not gonna name it. Yeah, once I figure out my little design conundrum here and actually get the floors and such put in for the tower. Like the tower is not meant to be a livable space, that's why it's slightly lower between floors. Like on the bottom here we have 5 up, because otherwise it would look silly with the rest of the build here. But once you go up the tower, you only have 4 between floors. This was a design choice made from the outside basically. But on the inside here, yeah, it's gonna be a bit cramped, so I'm thinking maybe instead of having, you know, separate floors completely, just having them sort of intertwined and using the extra vertical space as well, rather to build machinery and such, rather than just horizontally. And then in here we'll have all the, yeah, the peripheral stuff, like the deconstruction table and the other stuff that I haven't actually researched yet. So there's gonna be a bit of moving in there. And on top of that, I'm probably also gonna have to install a little minecart or something to get quickly back and forth to bring stuff. We'll see. But yeah, that's basically what's happened since last time. Now that I have the coastal sequoia, I can actually cut down all these trees and start breeding some other stuff. So, what other stuff I want to breed, I haven't actually quite decided just yet. There is a lot of good options, like many interesting trees, and what I'm thinking is maybe go into some of the nut trees, like getting some walnut or something like that. So basically take the beech tree and see what can we do with that. Mainly because stuff like seed oil I don't actually have a very good way of producing just yet. So it would be interesting to try and get a tree that actually gives off a lot of produce like that, and we can then squeeze it into seed oil. And that again, in turn, will allow me to make a bunch of other stuff from forestry and extra trees, extra bees. I know that extra trees also has a sawmill, which gives you the 6 planks and some sawdust as well. I don't know if that's unified in GregTech. I don't know why I'm doing this. I know there's not going to be anything interesting, but whatever. I might actually just have to have a look up at that, because it is a lot cheaper to make than the the GregTech version. So the question is whether the sawdust is actually a unique product from that, or whether the GregTech sawdust can be used in the same way. I do believe there is some sort of use for it. I just can't quite remember what it is. I know that you can take these all these pine logs that I now have, and I don't know if the recipe is actually here, but there is a machine. Let's see here. Add extra trees. Let's have a look. There is supposed to be a machine, but I don't know if it's actually in extra bees then, or if it's like in the Binnie core, or... Let's try at Binnie. Oh, there we are, there we are. So we have the lumber mill here, which can take Buildcraft power and cut logs up into 6 planks at a time. I might actually make this one just for the shall we call it the once-off things, because now I have the big sawmill constantly working on the UU matter. There is the woodworker, which is used to actually apply different textures to planks using wax. And that's actually quite interesting, but the wax is made in the... I think you just... yeah, you squeeze and then you ferment pine logs, so you get this resin stuff. And if you then take your resin bucket and you can say uses here, and it'll go into the still, and you can make turpentine, which you can then use to make wood polish out of beeswax. And this wood polish can be used along with planks in the woodworker to make all the different textured stuff that you see in extra trees. So if we do quickly here add extra trees again, you can see all of these blocks here, all of these patterns and designs and such, you can make with any color wood that you want in the lumber mill, or not the lumber mill, the woodworker, as long as you have the required wood polish. And you can actually do something quite amazing with them in terms of patterns. You can do, you know, old style European houses and such. But it's not something I'm going to go into now, because I'm very much afraid that that's going to be a big issue when I move over from the to the new mod pack in 1.710. That all of these different textures and such are going to be messed up, and the references are going to be changed. I know that it's going to be an issue. So, yeah, I don't even know if it is possible to move a world like this. I haven't specifically tried it yet. But I have started work on making a new mod pack, trying to decide what to include. I'm probably going to make it a bit broader than this one. It's still going to be focused on GregTech, obviously. GregTech 5 has a lot of new stuff added to it that's going to be interesting to play with. But other than that, Thaumcraft is definitely going to be a recurring thing. Then I'm also probably going to include applied energistics. Probably going to include, let's see, what else do we have? Well, Buildcraft, Railcraft, Forestry, they're obvious as well. Extra trees if I can find it. Stuff like Ars Magica is really interesting, but it doesn't really fit in too well with the GregTech theme. Like, it gives you so much power just by your person. Let's see what else. Witchery is something I might actually include. I don't know if I'll ever go much into it, but it's a very, very interesting mod, and it uses a bunch of different interesting mechanics that a lot of the other stuff that we have been playing with here doesn't actually touch upon. So that's actually quite interesting. It might actually end up being a Thaumcraft Witchery spin-off series or something like that, I don't know. Ars Magic, as I said, it has been covered a lot by YouTubers, and it's a very, very fun mod, but it's also rather grindy at times, and it gives you a ton of nifty tools, I will admit that, but it's it might be a bit on the easier side, I'd say. Alright, let us get started on some Thaumcraft here. So let's see, artifice. What we want to do is we want to make this runic matrix here and the infusion also to place on top of the tower over there. So let's get started right on that. We're gonna need a bunch of shards, we're gonna need a bunch of stone, and I think I have both of those. Actually, I don't have stone in there, I'm gonna need to grab some. The infusion altar is basically the what shall we call it? It is the big crafting table for tools in Thaumcraft. That's where you make your final tools. That's where you make the stuff that you actually use. The alchemy stuff like this is all parts of the ingredient preparation for the infusion, but the infusion itself is really the big cheese. Let's grab some shards here. Just grab some entropy stuff. And see what we can do. So we need to make a bunch of arcane stone blocks. And those are made like this. We need a wand. And I'm just gonna make all of them because we're probably gonna need them. And then the runic matrix. Let's have a look. Runic matrix. 4 shards of the same type, and ender pearl, and 4 stone. We have the stone, so let's see. We need an ender pearl. Luckily we have one of those. We need 4 shards, one kind. And that should allow us to spit one of these out. Did I take my wand again? It's kind of silly. Runic matrix, there we go. Alright, now we need to make a bunch of these arcane pedestals. Why do I keep taking my wand again? So we're gonna need 1 for the center. We're gonna need I'm thinking maybe 8 around it. Maybe. Let's take a bit extra. And we're also going to need to make some of these for the actual structures. So let's go and set this up. Other than this, let's quickly have a look how it is again. 4 of the stone breaks, 1 pedestal in the middle, stone blocks on top, and then the runic matrix suspended between. And then I'm gonna need to recharge my wand fully, because I actually think I do need a full charge of all the elements to pull this off. So let's have a look here. The center of the thing is right here, so we need these like this. We need a pedestal in the middle, stone blocks on top, and then we're just gonna quickly do this. Grab the matrix, put it there, and yoink these 2 out. And then we should be able to magic the runic matrix, provided we have the chart. But let me just quickly confirm that we need 25 of everything, and we definitely do not have that of... See, the one time I needed to bring my wand, I didn't. How brilliant is that? I'm gonna go grab my wand and go charge it, and then I'll see you when we can actually fabricate the altar. Alright, wand has been recharged, and I am ready to start this infusion thing. So it's just a simple right click really, and we get this awesome looking structure here, which apparently glitch out the same way as chests do whenever your field of view is not strictly the minimum. I think I've run at 75, yeah. So this is kind of confusing. If I look in just the right angle, they just completely vanish. It's the same with chests. I tried to replicate it a couple episodes ago and I couldn't do it on command, but it's working here definitely. Alright, so we need to place 10 of these around this thing. So these are where you put the stuff that you want to infuse. So we can do it like this, but I actually think maybe if we be a bit smart about it here, we can try and make a circle-ish thing. Now the thing is, these torches are definitely going to be in the way, no doubt about that. But I was thinking maybe if we do this, that's not right. Like that, that's sort of a circle, isn't it? It's alright. Actually, is it alright? Yeah, it'll be fine. It's fine. So that way we have 10 of them, so we can make pretty much all the recipes. And if we only need two items, we can put them here and here, so they'll be equal and kind of cancel each other out. Now, in terms of this altar here, there is a number of things that can go wrong when we craft with it. In order to reduce the chances and of this happening, we need to stabilize the altar. And the way you do this is by adding mob heads and Thaumcraft candles to the area surrounding it. Now, me and Trav have done this on Agrarian Skies by basically putting them on the layer beneath the altar. That way, whenever we spill flux or other stuff, it doesn't actually wash away all the benefits. And I might actually do something similar here, just sacrifice a bit of space in the tower for a bit more control over the thing up here. But I am definitely also going to put some up around the thing up here, because why not? But yeah, in terms of actual infusion crafting and such, that's going to have to wait until the next episode. So yeah, until then, I'm Jerry, and this has been GregTech / Thaumcraft, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!